Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
And I'm Allie.
You've probably seen Allie in our videos before. Used to be in a bunch of these videos. Allie's now our Director of Operations here at skiessentials.com, so you don't see her in nearly as many videos, but it's great to have you back.
Glad to be back.
And this is exciting. You have probably seen our bargain basement videos as well. Typically we do them like really in the spring, like late April, I think, or even early May. And then we'll do another one in the fall. But we kind of sat as a group this year recently and thought there's a lot of really good deals right now. A lot of these skis just went off their MAP policy, so minimum advertised price. So we can start dropping prices. And I think this is an impressive mix of skis considering a lot of them are like brand new technology. Almost all of them, 20 out of 22 skis, don't actually change for next year structurally. They just get new graphics. And I think there's a lot of exciting stuff up here.
And there's still snow in most places,
Exactly.
So you can buy it now and still ski it this season,
Right.
which is even more of a bonus.
Right. So a little different than our past bargain basement videos in the sense that, yeah, we're still in a ski season. So we're branding this the midwinter bargain basement video. I'd be fine if you argued that we're not actually in midwinter anymore, but it's also not technically spring. So here we are. And I think we can get right started. Starting over here, you guys are probably familiar with a lot of these skis, but we're starting here with the Volkl Kendo 88. This ski was literally brand new for this season. You know, it got all the upgrades, it got tailored carbon tip, it got tailored Titanal frame. This is such a cool ski. You may remember we went out and skied it in Sun Valley last year. We got some footage of Gordy just ripping turns on it. And this is like one of the true pinnacles of ski technology.
I think this is one of the best-selling skis at Ski Essentials right now and in this year. I think we're seeing a change of people going slightly narrower.
Yep.
You know, the Mantra was the peak,
Yep.
and now I'm seeing more kendo-friendly skiers.
Yeah, so this is kind of fun, at least for me, and hopefully for you guys too, because Allie's actual physical position in our warehouse is among our customer service staff, where I'm upstairs in a corner. So you really maybe don't directly speak to customers, but you hear our customer service staff just talking to skiers all the time. Yeah, Kendo is an awesome, awesome ski.
I think it really opens up people that are looking for that one ski quiver, you know, and that waist width.
Yep.
Where they can really carve out on piece, but they can still get playful in the bumps and the trees if they want.
Yep, pretty stiff ski, but definitely versatile. You know, it's kind of one of those skis where you need to have reasonably good technique to ski it, but if you do have that technique, it's very, very rewarding. And it was $699 full price. It'll be back again next year with just a new top sheet graphic, and it'll be $699 again, or maybe more. Actually, can't remember. It might jump up a little bit for next year. We just dropped it down to $559. So, you know, not like a crazy discount. Some of these bargain basement videos, you see skis for like $250. Probably not going to see that today, but that's a pretty substantial amount of savings. And you probably remember we sell these things with bindings as well, kind of packaged together. You can get it with a binding for $735.
Which is a pretty great deal. That binding addition, we do free mounting here, so it definitely is a perk.
Totally. Yeah, so good start here with the Kendo. Guess I'll put this one back too. And then really just piggybacking off the Kendo, really everything about this ski is the same. This is the M6 Mantra, so this kind of predated the Kendo with the current iteration. Again, this ski will be back again for next year with no shape or construction changes, just a new top sheet graphic. And this ski, you're at $599 rather than $749 at full price. And basically everything we said about the Kendo stays true about this ski. It's kind of just one of those things where if you are lucky enough to ski softer snow conditions more often than a Kendo skier, the extra width of a Mantra might be a little bit beneficial for you.
It's definitely a powerhouse of a ski. We definitely see lots
Totally.
of people on the Mantra. You can add that binding on for $774, which is a great deal. We've got a lot of people that find this to be their tried and true ski, so you might want to just buy another one to put in your quiver.
I have no idea if that's true or this is true or not, but this might be the best-selling ski for us in the past decade.
It has been in the last 2 years. It rivals the Enforcer on certain years, but it's definitely in the top.
Well, and you know what's cool, Allie? I feel so salesy right now. This is so fun. We have the Enforcers up here too, and this will probably happen multiple times throughout this video where I just break out laughing. But like, it is kind of silly. Like these are iconic skis. These are some of the best skis on the planet.
I mean, almost every ski on this wall people probably know about, maybe a little less on this side, but that side, I think almost everyone that's watched Just videos knows about these skis already. So being able to say that they're on sale right now for these great deals is, an added bonus to us, because we really like getting people out on these skis. What we always say is we sell fun here at Ski Essentials.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, I can totally understand if somebody watches this video and perceives it as us just trying to sell things, and like, yeah, sure, we kind of have to sell things, but like, we wouldn't put a ski up here if I didn't think it was really good, if Allie didn't think it was really good, and we also didn't think it was a really good deal. So yeah, sure, you could take this as like us trying to sell skis, because that's how we stay in business and how Allie and I get paid. But yeah, this is genuinely and thoughtfully some skis that we think are really, at least really exciting to get at a discount. So sticking with the Volkl theme for a few more skis here, but Allie moving over to the women's side with the Kenja 88.
Kenja I have owned 2 of these, and it is one of my favorite skis, and it will continue to be. Slight new construction in the previous years. Nothing will change for next year other than a new top sheet graphic. And all they did was make it a little bit more damp underneath the foot and make it a little bit lighter by taking out, changing the metal profile in the construction. So it's just a really strong, confident ski. For some, skilled carvers, this is the ski that they're going to want. It really does. It's a beautiful carving ski out there. It's got that 88 waist, so it can kind of go through the crud as well, but really excels in carving and in hard snow as well.
Yeah, I mean, these first 3 skis, they all share kind of the same recipe, and they're all some of the best for technical advanced skiers. People that really value precision and responsiveness, these things are awesome. And
that price is $559 without the bindings, and to add an Attack 11, we've got it for $704.
Yeah, so basically the same as the Kendo at the flat ski price. The difference there with the killer deal or including binding price is that Kenja comes with an Attack 11, which in most cases is going to be plenty of binding for most women choosing that ski. And if you want, more binding, if you want like an STH 13 or a Griffin or an Attack 13 or Attack 14 now, that would be reason to just get in touch with our customer service staff, because we can make swaps like that.
Yes, we can.
So thankfully, kind of moving on, those first 3 skis, we've talked about those skis a lot and how they can actually be pretty demanding and somewhat challenging to ski for some skiers. I think moving into the Yumi 84 and Yumi 80 here is completely different. We still get like awesome Volkl technology here, but these skis are much easier to ski.
The 84, I think, is just a little bit more approachable. They use a glass frame in the construction instead of the metal, which just makes it a little bit lighter and a little bit more user-friendly. So someone that's not as aggressive can get on this. It's only 4 centimeters narrower than the Kenja. Yeah. So it's basically, a very similar ski in the shape of it, but it's in its construction that it's going to be a little bit more lightweight and friendly and approachable. Yep. What I really love about both Yumis is that they can still get on that groomer and carve a turn, and an advanced skier can still get on the ski and have a blast. But where they're going to really feel the difference is when they get into the bumps or even narrower, tighter spots. They're going to have that nimbleness to be able to turn a little bit easier and on the dime.
Yeah, less fatiguing, just a little bit less aggressive, more approachable for an intermediate. I'm glad that you brought that up because like I feel that, and it's a good reminder every time I ski the Kenja 84, which we do have in stock as well, and I believe is a very, very similar discount. Maybe this is a good time to add that there were a couple prerequisites to making it up here on the wall. Good deal. We like it. We mentioned that before, but we also tried to pick skis that we have very close to full size runs on.
Yep.
So this isn't a situation where like there's 4 of them, go buy them and then they're gone. Like these deals should last for a little while.
And we can get you in the size that you need.
Exactly, rather than like, oh yeah, you should be able to ski a 172 when you're really a 180 skier or something like that. The Kenja didn't make the cut up here because we don't have that many left.
No, we don't. It's been selling quite quickly this year.
Yep. So
I
if you
think
like
people
this
are
story,
going more towards that more approachable ski
Yep.
rather than the hard charging aggressive skier, because that high intermediate is just going to have a little bit more fun throughout the day. You know, the longevity of skiing. If
Yep.
you're skiing from bell to bell, you want to be able to do that all day.
Right. No, I think it's really cool, and we were kind of talking candidly before we started filming here just about how like you and I are starting to move to shorter skis, to lighter skis. You know, sometimes you don't want or need something that's super heavy and super stiff, and I think these Yumis and the Kenja are a perfect example of that. Moving right along here, I still think the first 10 skis up here.
Well, do we want to talk about price first?
Yes, thank you.
We missed
of
the
course.
price of the
I
Yumi,
get
so
so excited about all the skis'
he's
performance.
trying to go to the Enforcers,
This is
but
why we brought in somebody from really the executive team here. You know, they're going to keep me in line and make sure we're talking price.
so the Yumi 84 went from $649 to $519 without bindings, and then again with an Attack 11, because most women don't need anything more than an
Yep.
Attack 11.
Yep.
You can get it for $669, which is a great deal. Again, free mounting we do provide here. Yumi 80 is even better of a deal. Again, it's a little less aggressive than the Yumi 84, but we're really only talking about 4 centimeters.
Yep.
And that one's going for $479 as a flat ski, and it is going to be $629 with that Attack 11 on there.
Yep. Thanks,
So,
Allie.
great deals.
Really keeping me in check. I appreciate it. And then we'll kind of do the same thing here with the Enforcers. We'll just talk about them as a group. I'd say even more so than the Kendo and the Mantra, these skis need no introduction, and they're not things that you would typically see in a bargain basement style video. For a while, you like couldn't get them.
They hold their value.
Yep.
It's one of the skis that I have seen hold its value through the 6 years that I've been in the company.
Yeah.
And they also have held their line in the market. People, again, they wait for this ski to come out every year.
Yep.
They want to know. They don't care if the construction hasn't changed. They like the new graphics. Nordica's known for their mountain graphics, and they tried and true have the performance on the hill.
Yeah, so, you know, the ski is still as good as it's ever been. I would say that we are just lucky as consumers now that we're at a point where we actually have some extra Enforcers towards the end of the season and can sell them at a discount. And that's just something that rarely happens. So just to speak to their performance real quick here, very similar to Kendo Mantra over there. Typically when we're talking about Kendo and Mantra versus any Enforcer, the Enforcers are going to be a little bit more versatile, a little bit more playful, a little bit more agile in the trees and stuff like that. You're basically trading some precision over there for a little bit more versatility here. So I would basically make the statement that for most people, those are going to be more precise on a groomer. These are going to allow you to get into moguls and trees and stuff like that a little more easily. And we've got the 3 heavy hitters here, 88, 94, and 100. Allie, I won't forget about price, I promise. So originally we were $699, $649, and $799 here. We're now $559, $599, and $639 as flat skis, and basically the same kind of breakdown with bindings with killer deals. This one goes up to $710, I believe, and then the same kind of increments up from there. So,
and the feedback
skis.
we get in customer service about the Enforcer is exactly backing up what Jeff just said, is the difference between the precision of the Mantra and the Kendos, this adds a little bit more versatility, and that's really to do with the shape of the ski. You know, still got a sheet of metal in there, two sheets of metal. I forgot the men's, but 2 sheets of metal. So it's still a ski that can carve, but the shape of the tip and the tail allows it to be a little bit more nimble when you're doing a little bit of off-piste or bumps or crud, which just makes it a little bit more fun and playful in that scenario.
Yeah, it's a true all-mountain ski. I think it's always like worthwhile and perfectly reasonable to bring up the fact that they're still fairly heavy. They're still pretty stiff. So generally best for at least an athletic intermediate. That's generally how I like to describe it. And we get that question a lot, like, I'm 5'10", whatever weight, I'm an intermediate skier, can I get an enforcer? And for me, it's always like, well, like, are you an athletic person? If you are, then you'll generally be just fine. If you're more of a timid, lower speed, intermediate skier, you might want something a little lighter and softer.
I also think size plays an important part in that. If you really are a high intermediate, but you're still strong and athletic and you want the enforcer, just make sure you're getting an appropriate size.
Yeah,
because if you get too long, it's just going to be, you know, driving you. Where if you get the appropriate size for your ability, you're going to have a lot of fun on it if you can, you know, steer the ski. Yeah,
every once in a while you see somebody out there that looks to be on an enforcer that's a little too long for them, and it sure looks like they're more along for the ride rather than dictating where that ride is going. But, you know, hands down, just phenomenal skis here. We've been talking about them for years now, and they're back again for another season next year with just new graphics. So again, we're like, not only is this stuff current for this year, it's literally all current for next year until the last 2 skis over there. So sticking with Nordica here, Allie, this is a little different because we brought the Santa Ana 84 in on the women's side, which I think is really exciting. So we've got the 93 there, and we've also got the 84, which to me kind of feels like just a slight upgrade from this ski, maybe somewhere in between these 2 skis in overall performance.
And the same differences that we talked about between the Kenja and the Enforcer is that, you know, with the 93 versus the Kenja, it's, you know, it's a little bit wider, but it has that more playful shape. So it's not just going to be an on-piste carving ski. It's going to be able to absorb that crud and that little bit of powder that you run into in the late afternoons. Where the 84 is a little bit more approachable than the 93. It's a little bit lighter weight construction, so it's similar to the Yumi, but again, it's got that construction or the shape of that Enforcer Santa Ana shape that makes it just a little bit more playful and fun. I really love getting on these and wiggling through the woods. I find them much more nimble in the woods, and again, I ski the Kenja almost every day as my carving ski, but whenever I want to be able to go off piste a little, I do switch to the Santa Ana just because I love the playfulness of it.
Yeah. No, it's basically the same exact story that we told kind of from men to women.
Yeah. And a comment from Bob that I thought was really important about the 84 is that I think it's like a very undersold ski because I think really everyone thinks, you know, one, they think Enforcer, maybe it's too strong. It's a little bit lighter than the Santa Ana 93. It's got a little bit lighter construction, a little less metal in it. And I just feel like people don't think of it as an approachable ski. And I really think it actually is similar to the Yumi rider that can be an intermediate skier 100%. And really get the quality out of the ski.
Yep. I think the other reason why that ski is a little bit undersold is there's like a little bit of crossover in Nordica's line with the Wild Bell 84.
Yep.
So I think it's easy for skiers to get a little stuck between those two. And, you know, you could say that Nordica's kind of stealing sales from themselves by having 2 skis that are 84. But I think this ski's awesome if you're really looking for a ski in that width range with a ton of true all-mountain versatility. Wild Bell always feels a little more focused on groomers, where the Santa Anas just love going off-trail, even at the 84 width. And a reasonably big price difference between the two there, $100 originally. So Santa Ana 93 was $699, 84 was $599. Now they're down to $559 and $479, and then also available with bindings.
Which is a great deal for a Santa Ana.
Totally.
And I really do recommend checking out the 84 if you haven't heard much about it. It was pretty new to the lineup because it did cross over with some of their other ones, and they had another, what was their previous version called? I'm going to blank
For
on.
women?
Yes. There was a Navigator's the men's version. What was the women's version?
Oof.
Oh, well, I
You're really
stumped him. That's a
putting me
good
on
one.
the
I
spot
stumped
here.
Jeff. Well, we'll have to get you in the comments on that name.
Astral, sorry.
Astral, yes, that's what it
Astral
was.
84.
So I think that's another reason it gets lost in this lineup is that people knew the Astral and they really liked it.
Yep.
And then they kind of got rid of the Astral and they kind of made this Wild Belle and the Santa Ana. And I think that people just really kind of forgot about the Santa Ana 84.
Yeah, it was a little confusing there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But
Check it out.
undeniably a great ski, and I've always been fond of the Santa Ana 84 graphic.
I know. It's beautiful.
It really is cool. And Allie, if you want to grab that K2 right next to you, we're kind of moving on to a K2 theme here with the Mindbender 99 Ti for men and the women's Mindbender 89 Ti W, obviously for women. I believe we do have a pretty good selection of the men's 89 as well. So if you're kind of preferring this style ski and you want the men's ski, I was walking through the warehouse the other day and it looked like we had a decent amount, just not quite as many, not as deep. So those might sell out just a little bit more quickly. But great skis here. You know, this is kind of, again, this is modern. This is like brand new for this year. It's going to be back again for at least next year, and I would venture a guess that it'll be back the following year too, probably just with another new top sheet. The big thing that K2 did with these skis is they kicked up the tail rocker a little bit. Maybe big thing is the wrong way to introduce that, because they did change the metal application too, which was pretty significant. But at least for me, I really enjoy the increase in tail rocker here, and the same is true on the women's ski. So it's almost like going more in the free ride kind of loose direction than even Enforcer. You know, I think from the get-go with these new Mindbender TI skis, we were talking about them through the lens of Mantras and Enforcers and those skis with metal in them and pretty strong performance. With this new generation, I definitely think it's kind of shifting if we're going from a precise to a loose kind of progression. I would say these have been pushed further towards that loose side of the spectrum. But great skis, really, really cool mix of being strong and stable, but also agile. You know, similar to Enforcers, but again, I think a little bit looser in the tail.
Yeah, I think that loose tail really makes for that release of the tail a little bit easier. So if you're really like looking for that mixed all mountain ski that can do just about anything, you're gonna get that control underfoot. That with their Y-beam technology, they really have like excelled at that underfoot. But where they've changed it is that they've made it more approachable in the tips and the tails where you can release and have a little bit more wiggle fun.
I think so. I just find them a little bit more dynamic than the previous Mindbender skis. Great word to describe ski performance, because it could mean a whole bunch of things. Nobody knows. No, I'm kidding. No, I just find them to be a little bit more rewarding. You can do more things on them, and they just kind of, they have a more exciting attitude when you're skiing them, whether you're on a groomer or off-piste or something like that.
Yeah, if you're not just looking to carve every day, you're looking for a little bit easier tail to release. You know, that's where the Kenja and the Kendo and the Mantra, they all excel because they got a stiffer tail on piste and really in their carvability. And that's where the difference is in this ski, is that you're really going to be able to release that tail. Yep,
but still very strong. You know, they've still got quite a bit of metal in there. And let's see, we were $749 here and $699 here. Those prices do cross over to the men's skis as well, or men to women, going to be the same. We're now $599 here and $559 there. So
I also think this is one of the most beautiful women's graphics with the black and gold and white.
I think it's sweet.
And it definitely changes for next year. So if that's your color pattern, I would get this as quickly as possible.
It makes me like a little bit upset that I haven't seen a Mindbender 89W with a gold pivot on it.
That's a pretty aggressive binding, but yeah.
I know, but
I would agree. It would look beautiful on there.
Can't you imagine
We
how
need more
cool
gold
it would
bindings
look?
in the world. I would definitely be a consumer for gold bindings if they weren't pivots.
Especially on a ski like that. It would actually look really good on this ski too.
I know, these skis complement each other very well for not being the same waist width.
Yeah. And then this is pretty unique. I always think it's really cool when we can add a ski like this into a bargain basement video. I looked the other day, I think we're 100% sold out of bent 90s and bent 100s.
At least the 100. We might have a couple of stragglers of the 90s, but yeah, these we got them in late season and they sold real quick.
So whole new bent line. We talked about it a ton last year, how they expanded that line from what was 100 and 120. Now we have 85, 90, and 110 in there as well. And I'm kind of shocked that we still have these kicking around.
Especially with all the snow out west this year.
Totally.
I'm surprised these haven't been snatched up.
Maybe everyone's just getting 120s.
Yes,
There's
that's how deep it is.
There's too much snow. But this is a fantastic powder ski. And, I am surprised that we have some left over at a discounted price. But I would also say that I'm not completely surprised because it is more specific in its application than the 90 and the 100. A lot of different people can get on those and have a really, really good time. It's pretty important to remember with this ski how soft it is. So for some skiers, if you're a really playful kind of freestyle inspired powder skier, this is going to be great. Nose butter 360s, slash turns all over the place. It's a real tool for doing tricks in the powder, or at least having a playful skiing style. If you're like a big mountain down the fall line charger, then it might be a little too soft in the tips and tails. So maybe that's why there are more right now than 90s and 100s. I think that's probably the case, but it's a sweet ski. It's brand new for this year. I guarantee they're going to keep making it.
And if you need a powder ski, this is a really fun, lightweight option, especially if you like that playfulness. It's very approachable for being a 110 waist width.
Yeah, an intermediate could get on this thing and have a great time.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a really cool ski. So super fun that we have it up here with us. It was $699. It's now $559. And again, it's going to be the same ski for the next couple of years, just a different graphic. We've seen the graphic for next year.
And what a fun graphic, though.
No, if anything, I like the direction that they're taking the bent graphics. They're a little bit more unified if you look at them all together. But I personally prefer this over the new 110 graphic.
It's just so fun. Every year I look forward to seeing what Bent has to do on their skis, and or Atomic, I should say, but on their Bent lineup it's just so fun. They push the graphics to a different edge than some of the other ones on the wall.
Yeah. So my apologies to Atomic, but if I was shopping for a Bent 110, I would buy it now and save $140 and get the graphic I like more.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's not just about the ski. Sometimes you just have to love the graphic, because if it's going to be under your foot, it's just like buying a jacket.
Totally. While I'm over here, I'll grab this QST 106. So this is a little different, but also kind of the same story, because again, the ski is literally brand new for this season. We went out and skied it in Alta last year, literally less than 12 months ago, and had a blast and sung its praises and how good it was and how it can work for a bunch of different skiers. So it's I don't know, I probably sound like a broken record, but I get really excited when we have really good skis up here in a discount video that less than a year ago we talked about in a completely different completely different style. Check out this brand new ski. You got to get this as soon as you can. So it's still an amazing ski. I'm psyched on this QST 106. It is incredibly fun. A little different than the Bent 110. We are a little bit stiffer here. So I think it actually works for a wider range of skiers. If you are looking for that kind of soft flexing freestyle application, you'd probably prefer Bent. But this is going to work more for your traditionalist skier, I would say.
The feedback we get in customer service about the QSTs, and specifically this one, is the dampness and how it feels under your foot. It's like that confidence of, it really absorbs the energy from underneath you, and you get to use the power of your legs to actually make the turn.
Yep.
Where, with the bent, it's a little bit lighter and you can be more playful. You're going to get a little bit more control and precision out of the QST.
Yeah, totally. But awesome skis. It does change quite a bit from a graphics perspective for next year.
It does.
So I think next year's graphic is a little bit polarizing. It's purple. I love it. Does everyone want to ski a purple ski? I would confidently say absolutely not.
This is gray. It definitely hinges on a slight hint of purple, but it's not purple.
There's no purple on this ski.
And yeah, this is a little bit more approachable of a color.
Yeah.
So
right.
if you like the QST 106, get it before next year, because same construction, same ski, and we tried and true. We know people love it.
You get a bigger choice of potential color matching bindings on this one, because anything goes with gray.
Yes, or fun bindings. I mean, look at you could put the Forza.
Yeah.
The pivot Forza on there would be
You'd
beautiful.
have to get like 2 years old Forza though.
Yes, and without the pink.
To match the base.
Oh, we get with the pink.
Oh, pink would, yeah. A couple Forza options that would work well.
All of it.
Which, apologies to Salomon, because you could also put a Strive on here and it would work great.
And they have fun colors in the Strives as well.
Did we skip price? We may have skipped price. $749 on that QST 106, and it's dropping down to $599. So, pretty exciting. Great ski. No changes for next year. It's just turning purple, and you can get it right now at a discount and ski it for the rest of the season. We've got 2 Blaze 94s here, men's and women's. This is really nice to have up here. This wall has quite a lot of Volkl skis on it, which again is like a little bit unique for a bargain video, I think, at least for our company. We typically get through those Volkls pretty easily.
We do. We normally sell out, but we've got some really good deals on the Blazes. They're it's a great addition to their lineup a couple years ago.
Yep.
And we're just getting such good feedback in customer service about this ski.
Yeah, so it's been fun. The Blazes are much lighter than Kendo Kenja Mantra. They have a lot more rocker. We have long form videos on all this stuff if you want to learn more about all the details. But I think at this point people understand the theme behind the Blaze skis. And it's been really fun kind of seeing the shift of Volkl skiers moving from stuff over there to stuff over here. We see it firsthand here in Stowe with a lot of our friends, people that have been skiing Kenjas or Secrets for a number of years, and definitely are still keeping those in their quiver, but now are starting to spend more and more time on a Blaze, just lighter, easier.
It's got a little bit more versatility in its use on the hill. And that lightness is just a little bit less fatiguing. It does, on strict ice, it definitely is not as powerful as the Mantra and the Kenja.
Yep.
But it performs excellent on more variety of conditions than those skis, because you can really go off-piste in the woods.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of touring bindings on these skis as people are getting more into touring, but they don't want a full dedicated touring ski. This is a great option because you're still going to get that performance on the downhill that you really want, but the lightness on the uphill.
Yep, really good 50-50 ski. And the other thing that I think is commendable to Volkl as a manufacturer is they kept the price to an affordable level, even without a discount. So to start, we were $599 in both skis, and now we're down to $479. So even at $599, like in the year 2023, $600 for a brand new ski is like
pretty reasonable.
Affordable, which is shocking to say, even just looking back 5 years, or especially looking back like a decade. Those used to be like the most expensive skis. So it's really cool that we're hitting kind of a lower price point here, and the skis still offer just so much fun and so much performance.
And nothing changes for next year other than the top sheet. And what I find the benefits of this women's top sheet is that, it, for smaller men or even teens, the blue is very approachable for anyone. There's no difference between the men's and the women's. So you can choose what graphic that you want. And, it's a great color that's very subdued to gender.
Totally. Yep. Very gender neutral, really, in both those colors.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can get both. Either one.
Yep, if you wanted the longer length and you were a woman, I don't see any reason why you couldn't get that black ski. And then we've got another atomic up here. We didn't put it next to the Bent 110 because it's very different. You know, this is the Maven 86C, and this really aligns more with the men's Maverick skis. We don't have that many Mavericks left, but pretty good representation of this Maven 86C, and I don't understand why.
I think that people just don't know about it.
I think that's
really what it is. It came out, 2 years ago? Maybe,
yes.
2 years
This is
ago,
our
I got
second
on
Maven
it.
year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was so surprised when I got on this ski because it's so different than the Vantages, and it really creates this all-mountain ski that's more approachable. You know, it's similar to the Yumi, that I think it has a wider range of skiers that can get on it and really excel on it. You know, that intermediate to high advanced can still carve on it, and then it still has that fun tip and tail shape so that you can really, you know, carve, but you can also have fun and playful turns on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's even more playful than a Santa Ana.
Yes.
So I think we've unintentionally created a nice segmentation of this kind of width women's ski here, where we're going more precise in Yumi, probably a superior groomer ski for some situations, especially like a less aggressive groomer skier right here would be great. Getting a little bit looser, a little bit more versatile with Santa Ana, and then really like that thing will go ski bumps and do it with a very forgiving, easygoing nature. And I think that's just such a beneficial tool for a lot of skiers.
I think that all mountain women skiers they haven't felt like they had a ski in the Atomic line until now, and this is really doing it. And that's why it's hasn't sold as much, because I just feel like it hasn't gotten the spotlight that it deserves.
Yep. There's a golden retriever scratching at the door. It's hilarious.
Is definitely.
Allie, if you want to hand me, get both those Armadas. So kind of a similar thing as what we did in the start of the video here. We've got the men's Declivity 92 Ti. Noli really wants to come say hi. And the Reliance 82 Ti for women. And these skis are awesome. I think, like, I was actually surprised at how many people were quick to adopt the Declivity on the men's side. I don't think you see as many Reliance skis.
I think it's the same story as the Atomic.
Right.
It came out a couple years ago. People did not know that Armada made this all-mountain ski that was approachable. And, you know, men are a little bit out there researching this stuff and seeing it more. And the women's ski just didn't get the spotlight that it deserved. And this was actually one of my favorite new skis that is in the lineups these days, and I love getting on it. It's confident, it's playful, it's approachable, and it's not fatiguing. And I this is one of the ones that I would 100% snatch up right now if I had the opportunity to. Great color, you know, it's a very subdued color, a little bit of hint of purple in there, but you know, the Declivity shines as well. I mean,
totally. No, they're super fun. I mean, from the get-go, like the kind of combining the lighter weight Karuba wood core with metal and then putting the articulated Titanal banding, like the slits in the forebody of the ski, just the whole thing works really, really well together. You've actually seen some other manufacturers that certainly seem like they've been inspired by that articulated Titanal banding, just allowing the ski to kind of twist a little bit more. And at least when I ski this thing, I'm constantly reminded about how smooth it is. It's just incredibly trustworthy, both from a turn initiation perspective, so you tip it up on edge, and this thing really, it does kind of let it twist and enter that turn more easily, but then the rest of the ski, the vibration damping is like really good.
Yeah.
Just as good as anything over here. They're very strong and smooth skis. I just think they've got like a nice kind of user-friendly touch to their performance.
I recently got some good feedback in customer service about the women's version. You know, the lady had been on 80s, and that's her carving ski, but she wanted something a little bit wider for the days with a little bit of powder, but she didn't want a true powder ski, but she still wanted that confidence of a little bit wider. So at a 92 waist, she got that right out of this ski, and that just the flexibility in that tip, it really helped her turns when she hit the crud, and she felt like it was just so much smoother than some of the other skis that were rocking her legs a little bit more.
Important to note that that's the 82.
Sorry.
But that's fine. We do
Both
have
of them are
we have
great.
the 92 as well.
Yes.
We don't have nearly as many 92s.
No,
So
that might be
anybody that
why.
was listening to Allie, those are going to be gone momentarily. But the 82 is sweet, and I think the
It is.
82 like actually really gets overlooked. You see more of the 92s,
And that's probably why you
Yeah.
see more of the 92s is that feedback I'm getting. But with the 82, you're going to have that confidence on the hill and still be able to hit that crud and go right over it and not feel it in your legs.
Yeah.
And that's what that dampness and that technology does.
and it's kind of similar to these Yumis over here. I would say it just feels a touch stronger.
Yeah.
And for pricing in the Declivity, we're at $699 down to $559, and Reliance a little bit lower, $649, just being narrower, and then that's bumping down to $519.
Great deals.
We're reaching the end here. K2 Poacher was one that I kind of selfishly wanted to put in here. I love this ski. I think it's great. I coach a lot of young freeride skiers and terrain park skiers, and those guys are so hard on their equipment, and I know that there are a lot of younger tweeners and teenagers and even adults like myself that are really hard on their equipment, and you're just breaking skis left and right. Like, you know, I coach like 14-year-old kids that like fly through 5 pairs of skis in a season, and their parents are just like, what happened to all my money? The thing that I love about the Poacher, probably above anything else, is its durability. It has proven to be one of the most durable skis on the market. You can just completely beat it up, and it comes out the other side just working just fine.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a single complaint about the construction and the durability this year, which, you know, is very rare. Every ski has certain times and certain production lines that have issues, and we haven't seen it with the Poacher. I'm actually very shocked that we have this in stock, because when we get this in early season, it is one of the first skis to sell in September. We got a late shipment, which is why we still have some. But yeah, it's just to try to, like, everyone loves getting out on the ski that likes to play in the park and is a little bit playful on their skis, like to go backwards, hit some rails.
Yeah, and it can work as an all-mountain ski too. You know, I think the park application, 100%, that's probably the highlight of that ski. You know, like you see it on like the top of X Games podiums and Olympic podiums and stuff like that. But it is still a strong, fun ski. It's got some nice rocker to it, some nice early taper. Great ski just to kind of use as a utility tool for the entire mountain, and affordable too. It's even affordable before a discount. I think we're $549, and then with a discount here, we're at $439.
We get a lot of customers asking about a ski. They're trying to get into the park, you know, maybe 10% of the time. So this would be a great application where if you're only going to the park a couple times, you're still going to get that on-hill performance that you want the rest of that time, that 80%.
100%. And then to finish, so these two are a little bit outliers, but I think they're really exciting to talk about and really exciting to have up here. This is the Rustler 10 from Blizzard and the Sheeva 9. So you probably saw our video about the whole new line of Rustlers and Sheevas next year. So the construction does change. The shaping changes. We have whole new skis for next year. I would say that 90% of people have been excited about that in the feedback that we've received. But I have also talked directly with people and have replied to comments from people that are a little bit bummed that these are going away and that are planning to buy multiple pairs because they like them so much.
They have a very strong following, is what I've noticed over the last couple of years, and I'm pretty excited about the new construction. But I also understand why this is certain people's skis, and I find it is the playfulness in the tails and the tips that allows them to really wiggle their way around and have a little bit more playfulness, similar to like something like we're talking about with the Poacher, but a very different ski in an application. But it is very playful, where next year's version is going to be a little less of that playful feel. It's still going to have the stability that it has under the foot, but it's definitely going to change. So, you know, if you really liked this construction and you like releasing your tails early, this is the ski for you.
Yeah, I mean, the tips and tails in these skis are very, very soft, and I think that's that was their highlighting characteristic for a long time. I mean, through this entire existence of Rustler, They're still playful skis for next year, just moving to the metal along the edges and extending it into the tips and tails more. It does change its personality just a little bit. So yeah, if you've skied these and you love it, might be a reason just to get another pair.
I also think it's the ladies version is, for that lady that's looking for a little bit wider, but not a true powder ski that has the stability and playfulness in powder. This 90 width waist is a perfect option for them.
Yep.
Then they can still have fun and play and release their tails early in their turns when they get nervous, but they also can get that stability and the crunching power of that metal under the foot.
Yep. So exciting skis to end with here, because they are going away.
Yeah, and this has been around for a number of years, this construction. So we're sad to see it leave. We're excited for the new version, but we definitely have a lot of these in stock. So if you are one of those people that just want to get your hands on these now, I highly recommend it.
Yep, and pretty big drop in price here. So this was $749. We're now at $599, and then similarly here it was $649, and we're now at $519. So great skis, save a little bit of money, stash one in your closet for when your current Rustler 10 or Sheeva 9 wears out. And I believe we do have Rustler 9s, and I think we do have some Sheeva 10s. Again, it's that situation where we just have a little bit fewer.
Yeah, we're almost out of the Sheeva 10.
They'll probably be gone sooner than later. So anyways, that's it. This was fun.
Yeah.
Midwinter bargain basement.
Happy to be back in a video.
Who would have thought? Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I guess you did a comparison video.
Yeah.
I maybe made it sound like you haven't been in videos for years.
Months.
The fall feels like years ago. But no, let us know if you have any questions about any of these skis. Our customer service staff that we've alluded to throughout this video, they're always right there, ready to answer any questions. So if you're kind of trying to choose between something up here, or if you're looking for other skis at a discount, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Don't hesitate to call, email, use live chat.
Our team has skied most of the skis, which is the benefit of our customer service team. So they really have on-hand experience, and they also listen to Jeff a lot and his experience. So, there's a lot of knowledge base in this building, and please just use us for it.
Yeah, so let us know if you have any questions, and we will talk to you soon.